Hey everyone, and welcome. From all of us here at Bill, Vincent, and Revival Waves of Glory Ministries, we're so thrilled you're joining us for today's deep dive. So today we're going to get into the absolutely incredible life of a man who earned a really powerful nickname, the Apostle of Faith. His name was Smith Wigglesworth. And right from the start, his story brings up this huge question, which is really the core of what we're exploring. Seriously, how did a simple plumber from the gritty, working-class world of 19th century England, a guy with almost zero formal education, become one of the most powerful and influential figures in global ministry? Well, let's find out. All right, so to really get who this guy was, we have to go right back to the beginning. Let's look at his early life and see how this journey from plumber to world-famous preacher even got started. The contrast in his life is just staggering. He was born back in 1859 in this tiny English village into a life of poverty and really, really hard labor. Just picture that for a second. His world was defined by physical work, with very little chance of ever breaking out of that cycle. And yet, this is the same man who would go on to have a ministry that crossed oceans, speaking to massive crowds from the US to Australia. It's a journey that just completely defies logic. The seeds of his faith, though, were planted really early on. He was working in the fields from the age of 6, so school wasn't really in the cards for him. But his mom and his grandmother were women of incredible faith, and they're the ones who introduced him to God. Then, when he was 16, he had this really powerful conversion experience that basically set the course for the rest of his life. But a huge turning point, maybe the turning point, came when he met Polly Featherstone. And let me tell you, Polly wasn't just his wife. She was an absolute powerhouse evangelist in her own right. Wigglesworth was actually terrified of preaching. He felt totally inadequate because he couldn't read well. But Polly, she saw the fire in him. She was the one who pushed him, who mentored him, and who really encouraged him to find his voice and step up. And all of that encouragement led him to a spiritual moment that would completely redefine him, a moment that would inject an incredible divine power into his ministry and change literally everything. You see, Wigglesworth felt this deep, deep desire for more of God's power. He kept hearing about this experience called the baptism of the Holy Spirit, which people described as this moment of divine empowerment for your life and your service. This became his single-minded goal, and he actually traveled to a small mission in a town called Sunderland, which was kind of a hub for this new Pentecostal movement, just to seek it out. And there, in that little mission, he found exactly what he was looking for. His own words really say it best. He described it as, "I felt a sensation of liquid love flowing through every fiber of my being." It was a moment that just filled him with this new, undeniable sense of God's power. And the change wasn't subtle. It was immediate, and it was dramatic. That fear he had of public speaking, it was just gone. In its place was this incredible boldness. Miraculous healings in his meetings went from being a rare thing to a frequent, powerful occurrence. And he felt this crystal clear calling to take his message not just to his own town, but to the entire world. And he did not waste any time answering that call. His ministry exploded onto the global stage, and pretty soon, these amazing stories of healings started to spread everywhere. The stories were just remarkable. Like in Chicago, a young boy named Samuel, who had been deaf since birth, was brought to one of his meetings. After Wigglesworth prayed for him, the boy could hear for the very first time. You can imagine. News of that spread like wildfire. Then you've got this story out of Berlin, Germany. A woman who had been crippled for years by severe arthritis was instantly healed. She just started walking freely in front of this stunned crowd. That one moment just ignited a revival across the city. And it wasn't just in Europe and America. All the way on the other side of the world, in Sydney, Australia, a woman named Margaret, who'd been living with constant chronic pain, was healed in an instant and walked away without any trouble at all. It just seemed like wherever he went, these incredible stories followed him. These accounts are such powerful examples of what Wigglesworth truly believed faith was capable of. If this is sparking something in you, and you want to explore these ideas of faith and ministry on a deeper level, you should definitely visit revivalwavesofgloryministries.com. But here's something really important to understand. Having a powerful ministry didn't mean he had a perfect life, not even close. Wigglesworth faced some profound personal challenges. And it was in those dark moments, those trials, that his faith was truly put to the test. I mean, think about this. He lost his beloved wife Polly, his rock, his biggest supporter. He faced intense, widespread criticism from other church leaders who thought his beliefs were too extreme. And the irony is, this man who was known for healing so many people, he suffered from his own severe health problems, including incredibly painful kidney stones and a serious heart condition. So how did he handle all that? How did he not just crumble? Well, this one quote really unlocks his entire mindset. He said, "I am not moved by what I see. I am not moved by what I feel. I am moved only by what I believe." His faith wasn't just for the good times, for the miracles. It was about clinging to what he believed, even when his circumstances and his feelings were screaming the opposite. That was his anchor. And that right there, that unshakable response to hardship, is a massive part of why his legacy has lasted for so long and continues to inspire millions of people all over the globe. It's really hard to overstate his impact. He was a foundational figure in the early Pentecostal movement. He directly inspired countless other healing ministries, including famous ones like Oral Roberts. And his books, especially Ever-Increasing Faith, are still considered classics and are read by millions today. His teachings on faith and prayer have had a truly global reach that continues to this day. But if you boil it all down, his true legacy is a testament to the raw resilience of belief. His faith wasn't fragile. It wasn't something that only worked when things were going well. It was a tough, battle-tested conviction that proved its strength right in the middle of incredible hardship and pain. And that really leaves us with a powerful question to chew on, doesn't it? What does a life like that, a life of unwavering faith that was forged in the fire of hardship, what does that reveal about what belief really is? Maybe it suggests that the strongest faith isn't one that's been protected from trouble, but one that's been built by it. It's a really compelling thought. To dig deeper into the life of Smith Wigglesworth and the principles of a faith that can endure anything, we definitely encourage you to visit revivalwavesofgloryministries.com. This has been a presentation of Bill Vincent and Revival Waves of Glory Ministries. Thank you for listening to the Deep Dive Podcast.